everyone. Very good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. On behalf of myself, since the president is not here, on a base of weekly update for the upcoming meetings. For the next 30th June, we have an MC slot booked by 23rd of June. We have a speech slot reserved by Toastmaster Saketh, and an MC slot reserved by Toastmaster Madhu, and then acting president will be myself again, and then a TTM slot reserved by Toastmaster Latha, and then a GE slot reserved by Toastmaster Sakshi, and a speech slot reserved by Toastmaster Das. For any other roles that are open, such as Evaluator and TAPG roles, feel free to connect with me and ask me and to record this if you want to take up the role. And that's all a weekly update from my end, and I would like to extend Toastmaster Shriram to make an announcement.
Okay. Very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. So as the immediate past president of the club and chairman of the nomination committee, we had invited nominations for the upcoming executive committee for the next 6 months, that is July to December 2025. And we had received several nominations, and I'm pleased to announce that there were no conflicts of interest, and therefore the question of holding an election does not arise. And the following members were selected to hold the respective offices, and I request all of you to hold on to your applause until I'm done announcing all the names. So for the position of Associate Sergeant at Arms, we have Toastmaster Giridas. For the position of Sergeant at Arms, we have Toastmaster Rachana Sridhar. For Associate Treasurer, we have Toastmaster Chetan Vasisht. For Treasurer, we have Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy. Secretary, we have Toastmaster Madhusudan. Associate VPPR, we have Toastmaster Shubha Subramaniam. VPPR, we have Toastmaster Shreya Rao. Vice President Membership, we have Toastmaster Saketh. Vice President Education, we have Toastmaster Apoorva. And finally, the President, we have Toastmaster Latha. Fellow members of Mekon Communication Club, can we accept this new committee with a good round of applause?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shiva, for that announcement, and I congratulate everybody who's taking up the ExCom roles for the upcoming term. And please give huge round of applause for everybody who's nominated and being selected for the roles. And with that, we have come to the conclusion of business session, and I ask the Sergeant at Arms to start the meeting.
I'll divide this room into two groups, the one around the table and the one around the room. So I'll invite the folks around the table to shut your eyes for about 30 seconds. Close your eyes, please. 30 seconds.
What is it?
Just close your eyes, 30 seconds. For the rest of the folks, can you see this? I want you to look at this and think of what you're seeing here. Okay? Alright. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. For the rest of everyone, I'd like to tell you about Easter. It's a festival that the Christians celebrate. It's where a bunny gives colored eggs to children, and children enjoy this festival because they get gifts, and the better the children they have been, the more gifts they get. But the crux of the matter is the bunny. The bunny is what makes the magic happen. Now, for everyone in the room, I'd ask you to view this again. For everyone here in front, I'd like two volunteers in front. How about Toastmaster Shiva and Toastmaster Sachin? You please stand. And from outside, Toastmaster Rachana and Toastmaster Jyothi. Can all four of you at the same time tell me what you're seeing here? A duck. Bird. All of you said duck or bird. Okay. So my idea didn't work. I was hoping that.
It's a rabbit like.
Correct. It's a rabbit.
It depends on from where you see.
Maybe, yes. But it also depends on what you heard. So for the folks who heard the announcement about the Easter bunny, it's very likely that you would have seen a rabbit. So this is what happens in a zoo somewhere in the United States. There's a zoo, and they have this exact image posted there. Depending on whether it's Easter season or the rest of the year, during that 1 month, all children will see bunnies, and for the rest of the year, they will see the crow or the duck or whatever they feel. And this is the psychology of expectation. Alright, with that, I'd like to introduce our acting president for the day, Toastmasters Sindhushree. She is a hardworking VP with the organization skills that I would like to implement in Poppy. She is my friend from ISRO layout. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chetan. It's not every day you get a friend from Mr. Layout to introduce you. So with that, I would like to open the meeting number 1321. Since we do not have, I would like to first start off this meeting by asking our guests to introduce themselves and tell us why they are here and where did they hear about us and when would you like to join us. So no pressure, I would like to request your guests to stand from where you are and introduce yourself to the club members.
My name is Samir. I'm from my native I'm from North Karnataka. It's the Havre district, Shriram. Right now I am here working from last 6 months, Unified Retail. It's an electronic distributor, electronic component distributor.
Thank you so much.
I am Deepa and I am working currently, and this is my second session, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa. I hope you both enjoy the meeting and have a good feedback towards the end. And please feel free to connect with our club members, ask any questions that you have, and everybody is good enough to answer everything. With that, let me welcome Sachin. Please join us. Yeah. Hello. So I just want to ask you, since you're a guest with us, would you like to introduce yourself, share your name, where you're from, and how did you find this, and why you're here to with us?
Sure.
Yes, where are you stand?
Hello everyone, I am Vivek. I am currently doing MTech in BNS College, and I am from Kerala. So I heard about this club in my I have a traveling issue. So we have a community called TISA. So there I got to know about this club. So that's it about.
Thank you so much, Vivek. I hope you have a good time coming back. And for the next part of the session, I would like to welcome our acting secretary or associate secretary, Toastmaster Jyothi, to read out the MOM of the previous meeting. Please welcome her.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sindhushree. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Here are the minutes of meeting number 1320 held on 9th of June 2025. The theme was Waves of Change. Word of the day was tenacious. The business session started at 6:24 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Pavni CR. The regular meeting started at 6:25 p.m. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Madhusudan started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Pavni. President Toastmaster Pavni opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Apoorva. Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Apoorva spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer, Toastmaster Sachin. R-Counter, Toastmaster Vaibhav. PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Gajendra Gowda. Grammarian, Toastmaster Chetan. Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Apoorva introduced the moderator of the panel discussion, Toastmaster Sindhushree. The panel discussion had the following panelists: Toastmaster Rachana, Toastmaster Latha, Toastmaster Sakshi Gupta. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Shubha and had total 12 speakers. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Shreya. The winner of the week were Best Table Topic Speaker Toastmaster Shiv Prasad, Best Speaker Toastmaster Rachana, Best Role Taker TAPG Toastmaster Chetan, Best Role Taker MTG Toastmaster Shubha. The acting president Toastmaster Saketh closed the meeting at 8:33 p.m. and was followed by the national anthem. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster Sindhushree.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi, for reading out the MOM. And if there are no changes to the previous meeting MOM, I will consider it as accepted and move forward in the meeting. To start off with today's session, I have something very important to speak to all of you. Something that controls you more than your KPIs of your job, more than your managers, and definitely more than your mothers. That is expectations. These are like expectations, you just go by its definition. It is a small whisper in your head that keeps telling you, I wanted this. It's like that minute calendar Google invite which nobody has accepted in your life. And this particular expectations is so different, to just give a little bit small example and to make it a lot more simpler for all you all. Let me talk about emails. You write a very constructive email, 3 pointers. You have a CTA also at the end of it. And you say, this is the action I want to take, and send it to everybody in your organization. After 8 days, you get a reply. What is this about? Reality, nobody reads it. Email is a ghost town. Second, your appraisals, your reviews of your performance. You say, this is the year I've crushed my KPIs, I'm definitely getting that hike and I'm definitely getting that salary revisal. But then you meet with your manager and he asks you, you know what, Sindhu, let's talk about your growth for this year. And that's when you take out your phone quickly and reply your friend, bro, no hike this year too. Let's talk about the third most important thing. Daily morning corporate things. You start your day with a focus time. You tell, today I have 5 checklists, I'm going to achieve all of them. Then you get a very small message that says, are you free for a quick sync? And that's how your day starts, and towards the end of the day at 6:30, you're looking at your to-do list and think, I didn't even do one of them. And you've attended 5 meetings. And finally, let's talk about ASAP requests. There's always a ASAP request. Somebody in the team comes to you and say, this needs to be urgently done. And after 4 days, the same someone messages you, is this done? So what happened to the 4 days in between, and why is it not ASAP? Towards the end of all these kind of multiple things in your work culture, they always say expectations is something you have, but it doesn't work in reality. Expectation is like that, really strong Wi-Fi signal. When your reality doesn't match to it, emotions become a buffer. So I always tell all of you, don't keep high expectations, have increased coffee intake. If the meeting runs over beyond 6:30 p.m., carry snacks. If nobody replies to your mail, always add reminder in 3 days at the last. And towards all of it, make sure you do not lower your emotions attached to your expectations. Finally, you should always aim one thing in life. Even if your expectation doesn't match, or sometimes it matches in life, suddenly by miracle your expectation suddenly works and life is happier. It will be like that intern in the office who suddenly finds a snack cabinet and just the happiest. So that is what we are going to talk about today's meeting. And speaking of interns who found the snack cabinet and got happy, let me introduce you to the MC of today's session. He is somebody who is pursuing his CA articleship at TCMT. He is also somebody who has completed his graduation in BCom from Transit Group of Institutions. He is somebody who you can expect a good laugh after he talks a particular story. Sometimes it's just humorous, sometimes it's just weird, but promise to expect a good laugh. And with a huge round of applause, please welcome Toastmaster Saketh on the stage.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
Let's talk about something that we all carry around. No, not our phones, but expectations. Those little invisible thoughts that run in our head and tell things like, you better not mess this up. You are going to have an amazing time. Well, in psychology, expectations are like mental predictions. They help us navigate, kind of like Google Maps, but with many wrong turns. So, and in science, like here's the wild part. What we expect often shapes what actually happens. What we expect often shapes what actually happens. It's called self-fulfilling prophecy. In simple words, you create your own reality. Imagine going on a date and you expect disaster. So you feel awkward, nervous, and you spill water on the table. Boom! You manifested the Titanic of first dates. Now imagine you walk in with confidence and suddenly you're charming, you're funny, and you spill a glass of water. But now it's like half glass. But that's progress, right? So, over a century ago, Dr. Sai Snehal had a simple yet profound expectation. He noticed that people were struggling with communication and leadership. So he had this simple idea. Why not create a safe space for everyone to practice leadership and communication so they can grow? And from that one club, which started in 1924 at the basement of YMCA Santa Ana, California, to over 16,000 clubs across the world, in 145 countries, including our very own club. So, for someone who's new to this club, a typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 sessions. The first session is a prepared speech session, where the speaker comes prepared well in advance with a speech based on the project guidelines and the pathway they chose. The second session is the table topic session, where the table topic master comes and gives the topic and chooses a random person and they have to talk about the topic for a minute or 2. And lastly, the general evaluation session, where the general evaluator evaluates the entire proceedings of the meeting. But none of this happens magically. Every meeting runs smoothly because of a team. And I'd like to introduce the TAPG team. So, the first up, at the time of today's meeting, DTM Udanka.
As we all recently witnessed how that 10 minutes delay in the traffic saved one's life, we cannot underestimate the time. Similarly, while you're pitching something to someone, time is really important. How we give the point to the person. So today I'll be noting down the timing by all the speakers behind the lectern. For prepared speeches, the timing would be 5 to 6 minutes, 5 with green, 6 with yellow, and 7 with red. For table topics, the cards will be as follows: green 1, yellow 1.5, and for 2 red. For individual evaluation, these cards will be as follows: 2 green, 2.5 yellow, and 3 green. Red. With that, I'll be giving my report during the celebration. Back to your master, Toastmaster.
Also, one thing that I'd like to add is that you get 30 seconds grace. So if you exceed that, you will not be eligible to win. Bless you. The accountant. Toastmaster Sachin.
Good evening, everyone. So sometimes when we start speaking, we don't get the flow that we want. So due to that, we use filler words such as and even repeated words. So I, as an accountant today, I'll be keeping a track of those things. and I'll give my report at the end of the day. Thank you.
Next up, we have the PP by Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. PP Parliamentary Procedure Toastmasters Act ಬಂತು. Why you might have wondering. My analysis why PP has come is Parliament in India will have who presides is called the Speaker. There are certain rules in the Parliament. You should not speak anything of a person who is absent there. So there are some rules. Similarly, we have some rules in Toastmasters also. One is enter or exit during the applause only. I think you hope understood, the newcomers have understood enter or exit only during the applause. When the speech is over, the participants will applaud their ends. At that time, you have to enter and exit. While speaking, do not use politics, religion and sex. It is a very common thing, so that no dispute will arise in evaluating a speech. Do not, when the speech is on, do not enter into conversation with your friend and don't try to disturb him, so that his flow of speech will be get disturbed. I think you keep your mobiles in a silent mode so that there will not be any disturbance. Thank you very much for listening to my few words.
And finally, the Grammarian Toastmaster Latha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my esteemed guests. As the grammarian for the day, it's my role to make you understand what are the good usage and not so good usages of the grammar language what we use in today's session. And I have to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is equanimity, which means being calm and steady when things are stressful. Now, how do we use that? The pilot's equanimity during turbulence calmed the passengers. And I will be presenting my report when called upon. Thank you.
Now, with our team in place, let's step into the first session, the prepared speech session. We have one speaker today, and before I call the first speaker, I'd like to call the individual evaluator, DTM U Bhat, to read the project guidelines.
Toastmasters, Toastmasters and welcome guests. This is a level 5 project 2 second part, and the theme, the project is lessons learned. Purpose statement says the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and apply the skills needed to run a lessons learned meeting during the project or after its completion. The purpose of this project speech is for the member to share some aspect of their leadership experience and the impact of a lessons learned meeting. Notes to the evaluator: it worked with their team to complete a project, met with their team on many occasions, most recently to facilitate lessons learned meeting. The meeting may occur during the course of the project or its culmination. About the speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech. The member may choose to speak about an aspect of lessons learned during meeting, their experience as a leader, the impact of leading a team, or any other topic that they feel is appropriate. The speech must relate in some way to members' experience as a leader. The speech should not be a report on the content of the lessons learned project. I should give a brief background for this speech because this is not a regular or a standard speech. This is the second part of a project. This is the final project in our the journey to distinguished Toastmaster, where he has envisioned or developed a vision for himself to set up an enterprise of his own in the revolutionary marketing and building up a team of his own and developing that skill, marketing things to provide innovative solutions to diverse small and medium and large enterprises. So this is today is going to share his lessons learned during the process of implementation. In the course he has developed, he has formed his own support team and also his own team, and he had discussions with them. But today he has come out, he has completed his project and successfully, and he is sharing his experience with us, the lessons learned during the process. So the 5 to 7 minute speech, all the best to the speaker, and back to Mr. Toastmaster. Just if I may add, I have forgotten one thing. This is a final speech of two paths he has completed. He has also met all the requirements of a distinguished Toastmaster. So at the completion of this project, he not only completes path, but also becomes eligible for distinguished Toastmaster status certification. So I think he deserves standing applause once he completes his speech.
Yes.
The first speaker, he has been a dedicated Toastmaster for the past 3 years, achieving remarkable milestones early in his journey. At just 18, he served as the youngest AD for Toastmasters International, and by 19, he became the youngest Division Director for District 5 in San Diego. Alongside his leadership pursuits, he is a passionate entrepreneur focused on developing cutting-edge generative AI solutions and spearheading innovative marketing initiatives for enterprises. Let's welcome the first speaker, Toastmaster Shriram. Lessons learned, Toastmaster Shriram.
A very good evening, distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
Great.
Well, to give you a small insight into where this entire storyline comes today. An 18-year-old started his journey in Toastmasters as just starting a club, having his own kind of wish and wills to achieve something in Toastmasters, looking at a ton of distinguished Toastmasters out there wearing blazers and all those badges around them, made me inquisitive. The inquisitiveness inside of me made me feel, well, one day, don't I have to do that? Don't I have to achieve that? That's where this entire story started. In the year 2024, I started my own venture called the Start Smart Solution. We are a generative AI marketing consulting firm. We work towards marketing and operational consulting using generative AI based approach, which reduces the cost for the clients, decreases the manpower requirement and increases the efficiency of the firm. While this entire project focuses on one major thing, which is me trying to give you an insight into how I started building the venture, where do I stand, what were the key takeaways from the entire process of me setting my own new venture. Well, fellow Toastmasters, when somebody wants to build a venture, in this entire world, 100 people have 100 different problems. For the same thing, we have a solution. See, because 50 years back, some phone rang in a Toastmasters meeting, so they decided saying, okay, you need to put your phones on silent or switch it off. That was a solution. Well, similarly, every enterprise has its own sets of problems which needs a solution. This is where we stepped in and said, what is our unique value proposition we are getting into this table here today? Without a value proposition, will a client walk up to you and say, hey, come, I'll give you business? No. Bringing in the first value proposition onto the table was our first responsibility as a venture which we provided. Second most important thing, getting value proposition, idea in the brain, nothing you know how to implement does not work. So who do I need? I need the right set of people who I can actually hire, who can actually be there, who can actually make the client feel so impressed that I know I can crack the deal. I need to have those professions, right? When I'm walking up to a meeting, trying to pitch my idea, hey, what one 20-year-old, 21-year-old, what will he do? Nothing. That was the same way how my thought process came. I started hiring folks who are 50 years old, 52 years old, 58 years old, who are in the industry for a very long time. What was the reason? Their experience brings in value. If Mekong Communication Club has been there for a very long time, wasn't it because of the two people who have been here for a very long time, which is Distinguished Toastmaster K Prabhakara and Distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat? Haven't they been the guiding force behind all of these efforts which are coming in to put this club together? Similarly, the second approach I made was to hire the right talent which can actually help me. Fellow Toastmasters, all of this is going on. Well, I need money to survive. If I don't have to survive, I always have people who are there in my team who come here for a living, get their bread butter from this space, and they get back. This entire time, if I'm not trying to make money, will this entire achievement of starting a new venture actually work? No. Well, a lot of people might say money is not important. Money is important. As an entrepreneur, money might not be my passion, but my idea might be my passion. If an idea is getting implemented and I'm getting money out of it, it does not give me a security for life. I am not going to be fine for the next 50 years of my life, 60 years of my life. How can I reinvest the same money which I got back into the venture or back into myself, to grow myself, to become a better person day by day is what matters. That is the third key takeaway. Reinvesting what you got to make you better. There is one quote I would like to, put it in front of all of you. If you just look at it, a lot of us don't write a speech. We think about it, put it on the phone note, and we just come and deliver it. Actually, just give it a thought and tell yourself, when was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? Next most important aspect, learning, upskilling. When all of these things are happening, as a company founder, I can place my tag as a Chief Executive Officer on LinkedIn, make it fancy, buy one LinkedIn premium membership to have a yellow tag. Will I actually get the connects which I need to get? No. What does it actually fetch you? Does your tag actually get you a life? Does it actually get you business? No. What actually it gets is just the people around you. Networking, mentorship, guidance. These three important learnings from the people who have been there for a very long time in the industry matters. I am just a founder of a company. There are thousands of other founders in the industry. How I can make myself different is a question. If a 45-year-old man goes sits next to a 23-year-old person and tries to understand what the change in the drift in the technology which has happened in the year 2025 and learn it, implement it in a business scenario, that's what matters. Don't sit in a cabinet at the end of the floor trying to tell us what we have to do. What matters? You get on ground, you learn it, you do it. A business leader doesn't become a business leader with just the knowledge of how to make revenue for the company. He becomes a person when you have a better people skill, when you know how to take care of the people on your floor who trust you, your team, and at the same time understanding what as a team you're trying to solve. Last one. Don't trust people. Folks who have been there next to us for decades, ages, I have experienced this. I have taken up business saying, okay, I'll do this. The entire project is done. When the payment has to come, it doesn't. Why? Because I trusted that man. I didn't make a document. I didn't create a document. I didn't get it signed. Because I trusted you. That is the mistake which I did. Well, fellow Toastmasters, these 5-6 learnings which I just put in front of you is just a very small version of what my life has been in the last 8 months. All the stress which goes in led to the grey hair in my head, right? And all the anxiousness led to me sleeping. Well, one thing I've learned in this entire journey of Toastmasters is, and the journey of my entrepreneurship journey in the last 7 months, is that have fun. You're not going to live a life again. Have fun. You make money, you keep it in your bank, your great-grandkids may be happy. If you're not happy today, you don't make a life for yourself. Thank you.
Rest is a must. Permission.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shriram, or should I call DTM Shriram?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think it beats the timing. The timer will have to confirm.
we'll get to know in the evaluation session. Let's move to the next session, the special session, the education session. He was a past president of our club. He is the principal of Achieve School of Education. Was. He recently came second runner-up in international speech contest. So, please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Balaji, who will be leading today's education session.
How are you all doing?
Good.
Not doing good? Very good. Fantastic. So, I think 15 minutes on the clock is what is given to me, but this is a very, very in-depth concept that as someone in the education space and training space, mostly I'm dealing with a lot of people who appear for interviews, who are having a career change, right? One thing I always talk to people, or one area that kind of people think that I'm kind of decent with, is the area of communication. And they say, I mean, as a communicator, Balaji, you're really good. I like the way you speak to me. And there's just one trick that I used over and over and over again that has helped me give feedback that reaches the other person. And in this session, it is all, my entire time is dedicated for me to just drive this one hack. And not like I'm the creator of this hack. This hack has been in the industry for the longest of time. How many of you have heard of ABT, Appreciative Behavior Therapy? Anyone who's heard of ABT? I mean, I'm sure. How many of you got a congratulatory email from your boss recently? I mean, from the company. You completed 2 years, 5 years. Can you say how that letter sounded? What was this mail, firstly, what was this mail received for?
It was a postcard.
It was a post, did it have content on it?
Yeah, it's like thank you for serving for 2 years, very grateful and looking forward to many more.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yes, Cindy.
I think just like yesterday, my manager shared a big mail with me in terms of how I could improve in my calls with the clients. So it had...
Congratulatory mail, not PIP plan.
No. It was a sandwich method of evaluation where he was kind of writing the things that I did really well, 10 points. Then suggestions for improvement, 5 points. And then he had areas for improvement with examples as to what did I say, how could I have said it better. With less words and better time
Fantastic.
management.
Thank you for giving the conclusion of my entire.
And then there was a final thoughts.
Yes. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. Can you take us through that? Oh, you have it open. Fantastic.
It was just a text message which I received from 2 days back, so that's why I have it. Dear Sakshi Gupta, we are proud to have you as a part of the company name and trust that you will keep the good work up in the future as well. Happy work anniversary. That's the only message which I have.
Okay, great. It looks like a lot of technology is in there. Fantastic. So, a scenario. The streets are dirty. Your sweepers on the street are not doing a good job. They're being paid by BBMP, which is getting paid through your taxes. Now this person is standing right in front of you. What is it that you would tell them? Okay, let's start with a few familiar faces. What would you tell them if you have to say something to this person?
I first thank them for their service.
Excellent.
Not an easy job. Enviable job at all.
Okay.
Second, I would probably commiserate with them about how hard their job is. And then suggest points of improvement.
and then suggest points of improvement. Super. 3 claps. Great. Udanka, what would you say?
First, I would definitely tell them that you are doing a good job. Then I would probably say why that improvement is needed and how they could improve that.
Super. 3 claps. Yes. And what would you say? Yeah.
You're asking me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the same thing. First, I would appreciate the work what they are doing, and the second thing is areas of improvements. Probably the second one. Only 2 things.
Super. The second I say that the concept is appreciative behavior therapy, everyone consciously said that I would first acknowledge. I would like, hey, lady, you're looking beautiful today. How come the street isn't as beautiful as you? But let's look at a lot of our communication otherwise. I am very thankful that you're all sitting here on a Monday evening after a long day's work. And that's exactly why we have so many more mature answers coming in from the audience. But now that you have thinking time, is this a part of your everyday communication? Even for the smallest thing? Maybe yes. There is a bigger maybe not. Sometimes we feel some communications are important and we play to our best elements, and sometimes we feel our communication here is not so important and we kind of go easy on it. But if I'm sharing this particular idea is something that I've picked up from a very, very, very well-known trainer who I paid 4 lakhs to just learn for 2 months, and one concept that still stuck with me after 6 years of me being done with this particular session. Toastmasters also prescribes this. So you all very well know that this is a very, very credible concept. Why should we first appreciate and then give your feedback? A simple thing. As human beings, we are always walking with defenses high. We always have defenses on. Why? Because that is exactly how all animals are. And we are no different. We are always walking on the street, sitting inside the room here, wherever you're talking to your friends, you're talking to anybody, you always have your defenses that is high. Now, what are these defenses? Basically, these are the ones fighting for you. How come when you see a puddle, you automatically move? It's a defense mechanism, right? It's a part of your muscle memory. And the same thing on the street, when as soon as someone even slightly touches your vehicle, and if it's your new car, oh my God, that person's handed. You might be 4'11" and 40 kgs on the weighing scale, but you'll come out, that does happen. It does happen. But how many of those conversations actually lead to results? You look at your house conversations. Okay, I have my wife. I want to have my dinner by 6:30. My wife made sure that she gives me dinner every single day at 8:30. Imagine I go up to her and say, I told you I have to have dinner by 6:30, but you keep making my dinner at 8:30, and I have told you this so many times. Can't you just understand once? What do you think my wife would say to me? Latha, what do you think she would tell me?
She will show you the kitchen, she'll show you the utensils, and she'll tell you, please help yourself.
3 claps, please. She's gonna say, you're a grown man. You're a grown man. Please, that's the kitchen. Those are the veggies, and those are the ingredients. Please go for it. Get it done yourself. And a lot of us think family conversations are not that important, but because this has become a part of my communication, I use ABT everywhere. Oh my God, babe, today dinner is fantastic. What, did you learn this from your mother? Yeah, My mom taught me. Yeah, just one request. I mean, can you please make sure that I get my dinner by 6:30? It kind of makes me keep a watch on the weighing scale. There is a bigger period where I can actually digest all of it, and it helps me with my health as well. Sure, from tomorrow I'll give it to you at 6:30. What a fantastic conversation, right? Every time I go to a vegetable vendor, I have a lot of pressure because I have a dad at home who is waiting to judge me. Like, oh, your son has gone to get vegetables. Okay, fine. The second I walk in with veggies in my hand, the first thing it is, Ashok, this fellow is principal, it seems. You don't know how to pick vegetables. That's a standard dialogue for every single thing. He doesn't know what all I have done to the vegetable vendor to make sure that my father doesn't pass this comment. I genuinely am bad with vegetables. Because I do it once in like 4 months or 5 months. So definitely I'm bad. I don't know how to pick the right vegetables. Sometimes I think the vegetable should be big, I'll take it home, and then I find out that this particular vegetable needs to be smaller. Then there is another vegetable that I take the smaller ones and go home, and then I find out that this vegetable should be bigger. I don't have my skill there, but I definitely have the gift of communication. Everybody understands Kannada in the room? First thing I do every time I go to the vegetable vendor, and it works every single time. Appreciation works all the time. I'll also tell you why. Anna, last time you kottidri, nam manelella fullu happy Anna. ಆ ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಂಬಾರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಾನಂತೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. ನಾನು ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದೆ, ನೀವು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದೆ. ಅಣ್ಣ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಟೊಮ್ಯಾಟೊ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ? This is my standard dialogue. And you always will see him move the top 2 crates, take the 3rd crate, put in the vegetables and say, "Tagondu hogi ana, take it and go." And this works everywhere. When a student walks into my cabin, I never go, yesterday also you came, last week also you came, you are this much only. This is you. Is the kid ever going to take my feedback? No, because the kid also has defenses. Everybody has defenses. The second you throw dirt at someone, and the most dirty dirt is words that are harsh. When you throw it at them, they cannot absorb it. Their mind is not going to take it. So why is appreciation given so much of priority? Because psychologically proven, you can definitely Google it, ask ChatGPT as well. When someone gives you a compliment, though you are not good at handling compliments, your defenses come down. It's like this. As soon as you walk into the gym, the guy is not going to say, "Okay, here is 100 kgs, do your deadlift." Has the trainer ever said that? What is he going to make you do first? Warm up, right? He's going to make you do warm up so that the muscle is ready for that deadlift. So when you see a scenario of giving feedback, I'm using the word feedback because from your dictionary, yelling should be out. Yelling is for losers because anger is the worst emotion. Anger is equal to a weak emotion until and unless the anger is controlled on purpose by you. Anger is a weak emotion. If you are angry, there is a highest percent of chance that your anger is coming through your anxious thought process. It's not coming from a good place. So you're yelling at somebody, you're not a good communicator. You're using your voice to communicate whatever you want to. So what does appreciation do? Appreciation sticks like a hook. The second you appreciate someone, their defenses are down. Their defenses are down, and then they are more ready to take your feedback. And when you're appreciating, make sure you're appreciating a trait. I have seen a lot of people, "New sir, new great." Sir, neevantu super sir. Yenake, why? You are fantastic. Why? Whenever a generic appreciation is given, you need to understand you are taken very lightly. And that appreciation might not land completely to the other person. The same thing if I give a specific appreciation. Sindhu, I like the shirt that you're wearing today. Right? And Sindhu, next time some hanging earrings to match that shirt, you will look fantastic. Imagine I go up to Sindhu and tell, hey, what is this earrings, man? Wear hanging earrings, no, you'll look better. The first statement that she's going to give me, look at you, man. Your stomach is hanging and you're talking about hanging earrings. I go up to Jyothi and I'm like, Jyothi, why are you becoming fat, Jyothi? Excuse me, Balaji? That is going to be her first thing. Have you seen your stomach? Have you seen yourself in the mirror? That is going to be her thing because, boss, that's the defense mechanism of a human body. You can't help it. Jyothi, I mean, I like your style, yeah. I like the way you've got this new haircut. I like the way you dress up for the meeting. With that, no, Joe, if you hit the gym a little and tone up some of your stomach, Jyothi, you will look fantastic. And I'm telling you guys, this feedback is going to stick with her. I want to ask Jyothi, Jyothi, do you feel like going to the gym now? No. After the second step? I'm not saying this is Ramabana, always lands. No. Right? So, I'm saying if you are all planning to become better communicators, if you're all actually here to give standard, good feedback, and if you want to be taken serious, because in this world, especially in this era that we are living in, nobody takes anything from anyone until and unless it is good. You cannot undermine anybody. And if you don't have the ability of looking at what is good with a person, you definitely, there is a high chance that feedback that you're giving is probably just for you. Identifying what is good with a person is a skill. So I would end my session by saying, all of you need to work on the biggest skill for communication, identify what's right with people. And only then do you have you win the ticket to let them know on what is not right. When the student walks in, I never go, hey, what is wrong with you? It is you, Bhushan, you are coming back for this issue. I saw you play volleyball that day. You played so well. Such an amazing sports person. And Sudarshan, I mean, sports people, you have to be disciplined, right? I mean, those smash that you hit, and then now I'm getting discipline issues. What is happening here? And I will see that kid sit in front of me and break down. No, sir, I didn't want to do this, sir. He's willing to listen. If he walked in and said, your discipline is the worst, he's going to put a sorry face in his head. He's playing a song. I know this. I'm here to create chaos. I'm going to create chaos. And coming back to that letter that your office sends, I've seen a fair share of those letters. They generally sound like this. Hey, congratulations, Balaji. We really respect how hardworking you are, how you have dedicated so much of your time into this organization. We like how meticulous you are with your delivery. We like how you prioritize work over everything else. And we really have to thank your family because they are the ones who are truly supporting you so that you can perform here. This is a hook for the family because they know the family is going to look at this this letter. And today ABT is being discussed at the top levels And the first ones who are trained with these are the human resource who is communicating with the entire audience. So it's a very vivid and a very, very popular thought process that is becoming extremely viral now. Some of the best trainers are trying to teach this and earn a lot. So maybe another day when we have more time, we can delve into different nuances of the same. But till then, I'm just going to leave with one message. Identify what's right. Do not use a but. Use an and. Not all the time will your grammar be perfectly right. Whenever I told that to Sindhu or anybody, even when I told Jyothi, Jyothi, you're looking very stylish. But what? But what? Tell me, but what? But is a classic negator. But otherwise, basically the entire family, they're all negators. You can use the word and, or you can use the classic technique of pausing. Okay? Latha, I really like how diligently you're writing this down. Very few people actually are doing that, Latha. And I really want you to take up the next education session because I think you are someone who can come here and deliver an excellent education session. And I think the Mekong really deserves to listen to speakers such as you. I have given feedback and she's going to take it because rule number one, it needs to be genuine. It needs to be genuine, or at least sound like one. Thank you so much. Back to the
Balaji, can you stay for like 5 minutes if anybody has questions?
Oh yes, any questions? I mean, I don't know, I thought I ate up. Yes.
You brought up one scenario where the gadis do touch each other.
Yeah.
Would you be able to use the ABT there?
Absolutely.
And so how would
Absolutely.
you deal with that?
And the thing is, I can still lose.
Right, so how would you deal with the auto driver?
So the second I meet the auto driver or something like this has happened, ಏನಣ್ಣ ನೀವು ಆಟೋ ಅವರು ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಸಾಕ್ಸೋದು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೀವೇ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಣ್ಣ. ಇವಾಗ ಈ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನನಗೆ, ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಈ ಕಷ್ಟ, ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮು. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಬೋತ್ ABT and power of questions, which we can talk about on a different day, but you're all modern communicators, you will know this. I'm not going to make statement. I said, yeah, no, what is he going to say? He's going to show how much pull he's got. He's going to show that if he makes a call, there are 10 auto drivers who can come here.
Correct.
I'm not going to lie. This is a scene in one of the villages of Tamil Nadu when I was getting back from Chennai. I was coming back to Bangalore. There is this new highway that is made towards the Hoskote. So I wanted to take that, and then I didn't figure that I had to cross through 30 kilometers of village road to get to that particular highway. I was going through, I had parked my vehicle, and then this huge Tavera came in and bumped into the car. I know for a matter of fact he cannot pay for the entire damage. That's going to cost like 40,000 rupees. Only person that can pay that kind of money is insurance guy. But I knew that I have to get something out of it because honestly, irresponsible driving. I was surrounded by 50 people of that village. I got to be extremely careful with every single word I speak. If I lose my word, I will have them hounding me because it's their village guy. Village, that community folk will not give up on their community folk. And then I got down, and the second I got down, I knew I had to make certain friends. So the second I got down, I observed that everybody is coming close, and there is this one guy who's taking the leadership of this entire communication. The only thing I had to tell him, sir, nodi sir, ನೀವು ಈ ಊರಿಗೆ ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರ ತರ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಈ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೀವೇ ಬೇಜಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಎದ್ದು ಬಂದ್ರಿ, which basically like you got tensed for me and you came up. You're such a good person, but look at this person, sir. He hit me from the behind and he's still sitting inside the car. And the guy who was towards me, oh, correct, sir. Oh, what are you doing inside, man? Come on. And this doesn't end here. It is layers. Did I walk out of money from there? 10,000 rupees. Would I be able to walk out with crass communication? I'm sorry to use the word crass, but it is crass. It gets you nothing. It puts you nowhere. Maybe 40 years back, that is what people were used to. Now people are not ready to take it. I had to use this multiple times, and then there were more people. Every single time faces turned towards me, I had to say something. Okay, Anna, neevella nodi. The second they looked at me, they're like, okay, you're a big car guy. I mean, how expensive would that be? Before those statements started becoming quite obvious, I looked at them, I'm like, Anna, neevella ishtu hardworking idira. You all know how difficult it is to earn money. You all look like hardworking people. Sir, I literally had to bleed every single day to kind of purchase this car, sir. How will he understand what hard work is, sir? You all understand what hard work is. Will he understand what hard work is? Because at this situation, I know I had to win this crowd. And there I have my wife inside, she's fretting. Like, oh my God, it's okay, why are you fighting? I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave the scene without 10,000 rupees in my pocket. I am not going to leave. There were so many times where they were on me. And I know cops are going to do no good there. I've been in that situation multiple times. My car is going to be in that village for a few months. His car is going to be there for that few months. And it is 11 o'clock in the night. I have to get my wife home. And I'm not going to call a cop, because you can call it overconfidence, but I've dealt with fair share of cops because of my job or anything. Yes, Sindhu?
So we spoke about the, giving a good evaluation in terms of using different ABT techniques in different examples. But the case where in the corporate circle or in the work culture where it actually comes into effect is when you have your performance reviews and you have your hike cycles, where you sit back, relax, and then talk about your areas of improvements, good suggestions. So what if you're on the receiving end of it, and as you mentioned one line in your entire session where you said, oh, you might not be good at receiving feedback or maybe compliments. So it's not just about having one-sided, like, in Toastmasters setup, where you give a speech and you get a sandwich method of evaluation or ABT.
Correct.
But in real life, everyday work culture, where you talk to somebody, like if you as a principal spoke to a teacher about it, how would you expect the teacher to respond to your ABT methods and what would
Now, I spoke about calculated anger. I do that too many times because they should never consider you to be weak. Okay, so there is this one teacher who comes in at 9 o'clock every single day. Okay, and there was this one day I had to have a tough conversation with her. I'm like, ma'am, no, in the class, students are all telling that you're such a fantastic teacher, they really enjoy your classes and they like the kind of activities that you conduct in the class. Students are looking up to you as a great teacher and you come into the class every single day at 9 a.m. Now you tell me, ma'am, is this good? Ma'am, a teacher like you who can teach so well should be setting benchmarks for the other teachers, ma'am. That's what, the second I look at you, that's what I will expect from you. Why? Because you're good. And today what are you doing? Is this correct, ma'am? No, sir, I will have to come early, sir. Ma'am, no, ma'am, this is really not accepted. It pains me, ma'am. It pains me when a teacher who can do such creative activities, who students love, and they are doing this kind of thing every day, ma'am. 1 month, should I really tell this to you for 1 whole month, ma'am? Today I'm very upset, ma'am. I'm sorry, I'm saying this, but I'm very upset. It pains me. The ball is still in her court. She thinks it's in her court. But I know the ball is in my court. And ABT doesn't mean you kind of suck up to people. No, that's not what ABT says. That's why I said there is a lot of layers. It's a 4-month course that I had to take. So you can imagine there are a lot of layers to it. You can really play with it. You can truly play with it. But the crux of the entire thing is, again, hook is appreciation. And you know what? If something is being followed by Toastmasters, you can blindly follow it. I'm telling you. I mean, forget about me being a Toastmaster, me being an individual, a system without anyone's influence. If it's running for so many years, it's running for a reason. It's the system that's running. And there is no bigger institution than Toastmasters which takes care of that ABT part, the appreciation part. When you become an area director, what is the sound they make? When you become a division director, what is the sound that you make? When you become DTM, what is the kind of respect that you receive? Because they are doing those things, their systems here are being taken care of. And doesn't mean Toastmasters doesn't rip you. The system does rip you apart when you're not doing something right. I mean, you're being evaluated on a daily basis. You have grammarian, you have timer, you have art counter, everyone trying to rip you apart. Even after that, if you're here, it's because they've created that appreciation that you really want to go for. Yes?
How do you instantly think of the...
It comes with practice. It definitely comes with practice. You should be willing to try this in every conversation of yours, and you should be willing to fail miserably at it. Only then will the communicator come out of this scenario.
So you use this as a starter to begin your conversation, is it? Like, or you use it only if there is some underlying...
Let me give you some husband-wife conversations. Your husband is not at all giving you time. He's always like work, work, work. Every time, what is the common thing that the wife says? I'm not saying your home, but generally, all the time work only, all the time busy, you don't give me time only, you don't give me time only. After a point of time, you are incoherent to the husband. It's like, every time she says the same thing, what is the big deal? Have you ever told how important that time is for you? I mean, have you gone to the husband and told this, man, every time I watch a good movie with you, I really enjoy that movie, but look at you not at all giving time. Right? So, I mean, yes.
Thank you, Balaji.
Thank you so much.
Balaji, it's just that we really enjoyed your session. It was really informative. It's just that, we have to cut back a little bit of the time.
Absolutely. Super. You did a good job. That's it. Otherwise, what does regular Sindhu sound like? Man, you were shooting time. That's why I had to push you out.
Your education session was successful.
It worked.
It worked. Thanks, Balaji.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji. It was a wonderful education session, and I will definitely use it in my life. Not sarcastic, but. Let's move to the next session, which will test our impromptu skills, or as I'd like to call it, expectation versus reality live edition. The table topic session. To conduct this session, we have a special person with us, who is an engineer with work experience in business development and partnerships. He is an avid history buff and loves running and weight training, along with reading manga. Let me invite our table topic master, Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saketh. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
So, whenever I've become the table topic master, I always think what topics to give. And somehow or the other, it's always related to something that I like seeing, doing, reading, whatever it might be. So when the theme came up to be psychology of expectations, and I got to know that there would be an education session, the first thing that popped up in my mind was Pokemon for some reason. I don't know, I mean, there are many young people in the room, so I'm sure you would know why I thought of Pokemon, because you have Ash Ketchum with all the expectations in the world, trying to win gym battles and tournaments, but he never did for 25 plus years. Finally he won, and that was it. But his journey was all about education, learning, communication, all of that. So I thought today's table topic session could be that. And I devised topics which are somewhat similar to his journey in Pokemon. So for the benefit of the guest, what I will be doing is I'll be calling out people randomly to the stage, and I will be giving them topics which they have to speak for a minute or two. So without any further hiccups or anything, let's start with the first topic. So, have you ever felt like the underdog and proved people wrong? Have you ever felt like the underdog and proved people wrong? This goes to Toastmaster Apoorva.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Good evening. Good evening. I'm so used to the YP sessions which are happening on Sunday mornings all of a sudden. Yeah. So, a very good evening to one and all present here. So, when was the last time that I was the underdog and I proved people wrong? This was sometime when I was in school, and I was not that very prominent or well known in my class. This was when around I was in 6th standard, I think 6th to 7th. I'm really not sure. And and in our class, we were very few girls. We were like 12 of us. Out of the 35 or 36 kids, we were around 10 to 12 girls. And there was one representative from the girls' side and one representative from the boys' side. And they were given opportunity to do certain tasks. And it so happened that the head girl fell sick. And at the very last minute, the teacher chose me for some reason. And that's when I outshined and people really got to know. And even the teachers appreciated me, and that is when people actually, like everybody in the class, gave me that prominence. That there were certain things like managing the class, ensuring there was order in the class, and during special occasions, writing on the blackboard. And it was all small things, but big for a girl who was in a, say, 6th or 7th standard. Those things were mattered that time. So yes, that was one of the occasion I can remember. Thank you.
So the next topic, what's a version of yourself that you've evolved from? What's a version of yourself that you've evolved from? This goes to Toastmaster Rachana.
Good evening, everyone. What's a version of yourself that you evolved from? I'd like to think I've evolved from a very stressed out, anxious, anxiety-ridden version of myself in the last 2 years. And you know, my surroundings, the situation, the environment, all of that contributed to it, definitely. But it was a large part of it was inherently just me being me. What helped? Exercise. I know that sounds really boring, but truly hitting the gym, playing sports that I'd forgotten about for years helped. And my mom, of course. And finally, therapy. Therapy has really helped bring me to the stage that I am now here. So yeah, that really worked. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster Rachana. The next topic, if you had to give yourself a one-line life motto, what would it be? And this goes to DTM K Prabhakara.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. One line would be simple living, high thinking. It's a very funny line, but one essay by Gandhi influenced me a lot. Perhaps I read it somewhere when I was in pre-university stage. That was about his self-help, and he talked of how he had one pair of clothes in reserve, one pair wearing, one pair ready for washing. I grew up in a situation of 1970s, 60 to 70, where everything that you see in plenty today was in short supply. It was a crash, crunch economy. Nothing was available. Everything had to be controlled, and it was through ration shop only. Today, India, the poor people get 81 crore get free ration, and cash as well. Those days were different. But this influenced me to the extent that for example, here I told you can do your haircut yourself, and I was doing for years. And somewhere after marriage, my wife changed me. That's a different story. And that too after so many years. I think I was doing it fairly alright. So the simple living high thinking is that actually I was trying to, in the process, I was the first one to read Fortune International magazine in Meccan, Calcutta. I was there. Only the head of the office used to get, and sometimes I used to take ahead of him. So the other side is the business side, the engineering side. I really worked hard to understand how things go about doing things, both managerially as when I was even young. And one of the things that I was brought into is that one of the few person in Meccan, Calcutta was 400 persons were their engineers. That one of the person who borrows books from library, technical library, was a K Prabhakara. So the point I'm trying to make is that one single line, that simple living, high thinking, don't bother about rest of the things. Focus on what you need to do, and rest of the things falls in place automatically. Another thing is that the best thing that happened was Toastmaster. I was drawn to Toastmaster by UK Sharma, the first president. He said, "Abhi sir," and I'm here, and everybody else who joined with me are gone except him. Over to table topic.
Going to the next topic. What's a habit or skill you've trained the hardest in your life? What's a habit or skill you've trained the hardest in your life? This goes to Toastmaster Sachin. Habit or skill you've trained the hardest in your life?
So yeah, good evening everyone. So one thing I have really developed over the last few years that I can say is anger management. So yeah, right now if you see me, you don't feel like I'm the person who get angry very easily. But trust me, that was not the case. So usually this was when I was relatively younger in the sense like when I was around 14-15 years. So I used to get angry even for the smallest of things, and I couldn't control it. And even to my closest ones, I used to get very angry a lot. But over time it changed. Maybe okay, so obviously I also played a part in it, but sometimes when you experience certain things, it just comes automatically. So for example, I used to fight with my brother a lot. He's 2.5 years older than me. So in 2016, he moved to Hyderabad for his engineering, and so 4 years. So I used to meet him like once in 6 months. So and that too, it was only like a couple of days. So and the moment he left, one day I just started crying because I didn't value the time which I had before with him. Now I will do everything to make sure that I can spend all that time with him again. So something in me just hit me that day, and after that incident I just valued the time which I had with him. Now of course we stay together again. So yeah, it is important to you'll never realize something unless you lose it. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that response, Toastmaster Sachin. Going to the next topic. Have you ever had a mentor who helped you level up in life? Have you ever had a mentor who helped you level up in life? This goes to TTM Udanka.
Have I ever had a mentor who helped me level up my game? Yes, definitely one mentor who we can always look into is the dads. Being the Father Day around the corner, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about the dad and my mentor. He did not mentor me in the life's the education part. He did not tell me what to do, how to read and everything. But one major thing he taught me and which I can still believe that I am what I am because of him is one, in driving, second is in leadership. Why I tell this is he's been a driver since he was 7 years. He started what he told me that he started riding, and 16 onwards he started riding, and each and every lesson he have taught me how to drive, that which angle I should turn the steering to take an exact turn, what position I have to leave the clutch to make sure the vehicle does not go back while I'm the uphill. Every minute things of driving is something what I've learned from him. And today, whatever I drive, whatever speed I drive, I know that I can control because of his lessons, what I've learned. Second thing is leadership. What I've learned from him is the way he took us on the trips. It's not, when you say family trips, you might think it is 5 members, max to max 10 members. No, it was 40 to 45 members back in 2000s where we used to go sit, he used to go sit at the counter, book tickets, train tickets, arrange vehicles, all the way in Calcutta, Delhi, so that we have a proper communication. Without a small pause in the trip, we used to have a beautiful trip for not 1 or 2 days, for 15 to 20 days. That was during our Dasha holidays. Everything what he did, it was perfect, on point for me, and that probably heritage and the genes has followed, but the way he has mentored me, the way he has taught me how to write the things, how to drive the things, how to take things forward, is something what I can see myself in a leader, and while I'm driving. With that,
Going to our next topic. What's something small that made a big difference in your life over time? What's something small that made a big difference in your life over time? This goes to Toastmasters Sai.
Favorite Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. One of the most important things that I learned over time is the ability to listen to someone when they're speaking to you. It's a very small thing that someone expects out of you. I'm talking to all of you here, 50% of them are mostly not hearing me or listening to me. But something I learned over time is the least amount of respect you can give someone is actually listening to them when they're speaking. Regardless of whether you have something to tell, something to give an opinion, or something to suggest to them, the first thing you do is listen. Because when someone speaks, they speak from a point of view of their feelings, their emotion, and a lot of things. Sometimes we forget that we may be better than them, we may be anything beyond them, but we shouldn't let the other person down by ignoring what they're saying, especially when they're talking to you one-on-one. This has helped me build my bonds with a lot of people over time. Be it my clients, be it friends, or whoever it is, I've learned this. And everything you've told me, I've always heard. I may have not acknowledged, but it's always in the back of my head. Maybe someday I will remember and come back. But the next time someone is talking to you, the smallest thing you can do to yourself and to the other person is listen with your heart open and ears wide open, and you'll know there is something to learn from every one of them. Thank you.
Alright, going to the next topic. What's something you've been chasing for a long time? Is it still worth it? What is something that you've been chasing for a long time? Is it still worth it? This goes to Toastmaster Latha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guest. Now, one thing what I have been trying to follow or chasing from a very long time is how can I stop eating pizzas and burgers? This is one thing I really want to take off the hook of my diet. Now, one of the reasons being it contains maida, which is not very good for my health. It has a lot of cheese, which is not good for my health. So I'm just trying to figure it out how I can say no when a beautiful pizza with a lot of veggies, especially farm fresh pizza, with a little less cheese sitting in front of me, and it's like, Latha, eat me, and I'm like, sorry, I can't. And I'm telling my brain, tell it not to open your mouth. And slowly, okay, little opens, and then that one piece goes, and then I'm like, okay, let me not go for the second one. Then the second, then third, then fourth, then fifth, and sixth, and After that, I think, okay, next time let me try. And this is what I'm trying to do from last 6 months. And I hope one day when the next time I get the same table topic, I can talk from 6 to, if I hope I'll come to 1. Or probably 2. Okay, not 2. Let's settle 50-50. 3 pieces from 6. Let me come to that. And next time Madhu give me this topic after 6 months, remember to give me the same topic so that I'm motivated to tell. From 6 I've come to 3 people, and next time onwards, sorry, 3 pieces, not 3 people, 3 pieces, and probably I can go to 0 or -1 next year. Thank you.
The next topic. What's a wild or unexpected encounter that changed your path? What's a wild or unexpected encounter that changed your path? This goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. What is the wild
or unexpected encounter which changed your path?
One major thing, unexpected thing happened in my life. I wanted to do something, but there was no opportunity for me to do that thing, what I liked and what I have a passion for this. That passion was planting of the trees. Was a passion for me. I was alone, but I couldn't do anything. In one of the meetings of the Electricity Industries Association, I think I have told last time, again I will repeat here, who will become the treasurer of the association? I raise up my hands. I do not know what is debit credit, but I grabbed that opportunity. My dear Toastmasters, when an opportunity comes, think and grab it, because next opportunity coming will not go the same magnitude. I became a treasurer not to count the money, debit, credit or anything. I wanted to make more trees in Electronic City. I wanted to make Electronic City green city. That was my ambition. So what I did was, only 800 rupees they gave me, transferred from the previous treasurer to me. That I started writing letters, give me this one and other things. I also envisaged vision to make this one. Believe me, everybody joined me and planted nearly 6,000 trees, which have grown up from 94. Very nicely it has come. When I walk this, I feel like enjoying delightfulness. All the villages come and walk there, and I heard, these are the things. And one more thing, when I was holding that post, only 800 rupees have, one of the other managing director of the company said, why don't you start midday meal school to the in and around government schools? 800 rupees, is it a one-day thing? Veerabhadrappa started God village. Veerabhadrappa started God village. Definitely God has helped. Today 5,000 children are being fed regularly with a sumptuous food and a very good diet in and around Electronic City. My dear friends, when an opportunity comes, identify and grab it. Next opportunity coming will not be of the same magnitude. Thank you very much.
Alright, going to the next topic. Do you believe everyone has a hidden ability waiting to be unlocked? Do you believe everyone has a hidden ability waiting to be unlocked? This goes to Toastmaster Jyothi.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Each of us have an ability to unlock. As a young girl, I was a very talkative person. I had no time to listen to others. I just had to chatter out. I just had to talk. It was during my counseling course that I learned the art of listening. And it was very, very difficult to listen. And during the same time, I attended a course where I had to be silent. And that was when, to the teacher, I was like crying the whole time. It was like a punishment for me. And I told the teacher that I cannot be silent. But then somehow I managed. So 2 things that I learned was to be silent and to listen. And it has changed my life drastically, not changed, transformed my life. we think too little of ourselves, that we are not able to do something great, and we always appreciate and admire others who do it, but little do we give ourselves the time and the appreciation, the effort that we put in, the appreciation for the effort that we put in. And mind you, this listening and being silent has not taken 1 or 2 years. It has taken a couple of decades for me to learn to be silent and to listen. And now, there are many instances when I listen to people and what I tell them or what I understand about them is a revelation for me myself, that I could think like this. I mean, I could see it like this, a different dimension for those things. And how did it come? It came only with practice over number of years, number of times. And that's what I want to say, that each one of us have something in us. It's just a matter of time that it comes out. And that can happen only in silence. Thank you.
All right, next topic. What's something that tests your patience every time? What's something that tests your patience every time? This goes to Toastmaster Chetan.
In my workplace, there is this problem of incompetence. I don't know how else to describe it, but it hurts. It tests me beyond any logical limit. There are people who I have told many times how things should be done. Okay, I'll give you an example. There is a tester in my company, and we've built a simple application. I have told him these are the test cases that I have tested. Now go ahead and test more than this. So he comes back to me showing me just the fact that he's tested half the things that I have already done. So what is his role then, right? So these are the things that test me beyond my pressure. I cannot yell at him because I will probably get removed for it. But what can I do? How do I deal with it? This is something I've struggled with. And after dealing with him for close to 2 years, I changed companies. there was no solution. There was no way to deal with it. And fortunately, when I jumped companies, I met no such person. But there's always a likelihood that I will end up in this situation again. So this is something that has been testing me for years, and hopefully Balaji has given me some roadmap today to this perpetual problem that has plagued me for years. Thank you.
All right, for the last topic of the day, and this goes to our acting president for today, Sindhu. The topic is, have you ever had to unlearn something to move ahead? Have you ever had to unlearn something to move ahead?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Madhu. So, this everyday, to just move on in life, everyone knows these days that you have to unlearn and relearn a lot of things, and it works. That's how your corporate work works, or everyday. It's not just corporate. Everyday daily life works that way. But one thing that I really had to take my time out, I really had to think about my steps and relearn a lot of things happened when I finished my area director term. And on that particular day, there was a clear structured path in my head. When I thought, okay, what's the next step? Division director. What's the next step? I have to take up more responsibilities. Something in my head is that I planned 5 steps ahead. I always plan what I want to do. I always come prepared. There is never a single doubt of, do I do this or do I not do this? I back up all my plans with a plan B too. After doing all of those things, when you lose something that you really want due to number of reasons, it could be private, favoritism, or it could be for the sheer luck of politics, or sometimes it could just be because there's somebody more deserving. In spite of all of this, I felt really demotivated. When a role that you think you deserve, you have worked for, goes to the role of somebody else's hands, you sit down and talk to your mentor. That's what I did. It was a very long conversation that day. It was also very lucky that I was able to talk to my mentor who only has 5 minutes for me every day. But that day we spoke from 10 p.m. in the night to 3 a.m. in the morning. I was like, I lost this, what do I do? I was like, I really wanted this, I worked for it. And he said, take a break. Stay away from it. This is not your entire being. This is not the only thing in your life. You really want to improve? There are multiple ways. And this was a conversation where it took more than 6 hours, 6 months, 2 years for him to convince me, don't be attached. So that is exactly what I had to learn and unlearn and relearn, that the moment you stay attached to the work, the moment you treat it as everything that you want, that is when it will pull you down. Leave it, move on, there's another open door. And if that platform doesn't deserve you, if you really think you're good enough, there's more opportunities. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sindhu. I must say, when I made these topics today afternoon, I thought this might come across as a joke for most of the people sitting here, but after hearing the speeches, the depth of the speeches, it's really inspired me to carry on trying out such table topics in the future as well. Thank you so much, and I give it back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Madhusudan, for conducting such a wonderful table topic session. And now, we all have been waiting for what we've been expecting, a 5-minute networking game. Welcome back. Now, it's time for the last session, the general evaluation session, where we review how well we met our expectation for today's meeting. Now, let me introduce a special person who did her mechanical engineer and did MBA in HR. She is currently working as a HR in a company, and one thing about that person is that she manages to pull out or use the word of the week in every meeting possible. She loves playing guitar and she loves traveling. So, let me call upon the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saketh, for the last minute warm introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
We have now reached the final checkpoint of today's meeting, the general evaluation session, or I like to call where we gently nudge each other towards greatness. As your general evaluator, my role is to observe the overall conduct of the meeting from the moment the first chair was set to the last round of applause, and offer feedback that helps us grow both as speakers and as a club. In line with our today's theme, psychology of expectations, every role taker walks in with a plan, every guest with a curiosity, and every member with the hope of a smooth, energizing session. With those expectations are met or not, what matters most is how we handle them, and that's where equanimity, our word of the day, comes into play. Calm, a composure and confidence in every moment. Now, let's reflect on each aspect of today's meeting with ABT methodology. The meeting room was well prepared and atmosphere was welcoming. There were friendly interactions among members and warm greeting extended to guests. Special shout out to those who made guests feel welcome right from the start. It sets a positive tone before the first word is even spoken. The meeting started at 6:20 p.m., about 5 minutes later than the scheduled time. This delay was primarily due to the speakers. We were waiting for the speakers. While minor delays are understandable, especially when we aim for quality, let's try to assemble at 6:10 p.m. going forward so we can begin sharp at 6:15 p.m. Coming to the business session, Toastmaster Sindhushree, our BPE, shared the upcoming roles openings. Then Toastmaster Shiva announced the nominations for the next term. Then the Toastmaster Jyothi presented the minutes of the meeting, and as usual, she was confident, clear and crisp. So great job to Toastmaster Jyothi, though she's outside the room. Yeah, great job to Toastmaster Jyothi. Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi, for your word. Right. Coming to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Chetan opened the theme with precision and in a creative way. He showed, first of all, he asked half of the team, half of the members to close their eyes. That is different that he forgot to mention, please open your eyes. Yeah. So, he introduced the theme in a creative way. His transitions were amazing, the way he transitioned from the theme to the creative introduction of the president. It was personalized. So let's give Toastmaster Chetan well-deserved round of applause. I hope Toastmaster Chetan will review the videos. Alright. So coming to the President's address, Toastmaster Sindhushree, who is the acting president of today's meeting, she naturally captures attention as she comes behind the lectern. She spoke on the theme Psychology of Expectations. She compared the theme with calendar, mails, appraisals and ASAP requests. So a creative way to introduce the theme. Also, she again proved her creativity in speaker's introduction. So she always tries and makes sure to introduce the speaker in a personalized manner. So let's give Toastmaster Sindhu a well-deserved round of applause. Now, before I call the individual evaluator to the stage, I would like to ask, did you receive the project PDF and evaluation resource we heard beforehand? Alright. So, coming to the first speaker, DTM Shriram HR, who presented his speech titled Lessons Learned. This speech is evaluated by DTM U Bhat. DTM Bhat, can we have your evaluation please?
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests and Toastmaster Shriram in particular. Money is not my passion, but my idea is my passion. When was the last time you did for the first time? Making the difference in society. What is the value proposition you bring on the table? These are some of the thoughts which I am taking home today after listening to your wonderful speech, Toastmaster Shriram. Let me evaluate your speech on the three heads of what I really liked about your presentation and what you could have done differently or added something, or how you could have challenged yourself in future. So the first thing is about what I liked. See, first thing is I am really amazed by your exemplary communication skills. Whether it's your voice, not only voice, the modulation of voice at appropriate places and at right pauses. That is something really amazing. And you are very presence behind the lecture. That's what made everybody, your voice and your the way you present, that gives a lot of credibility to what you speak. That's the advantage you have. Please build upon that. Really continue to have that. You brought about beautifully about your journey, how you envisioned the vision, then how you decided that something has to be really done about the value proposition. You have to bring something unique on the table, and you have to really make the difference for the corporate world. So how you brought about that whole thing about your development of your program, your enterprise. And today I understand that from you that there are more than some 20-25 people working, and with your already within a matter of 6 months or 8 months you have achieved a revenue of more than 1 billion or something. Yeah, 1 million your revenue. So that is something really amazing. It really shows with the passion and the commitment you had showed for your vision. That came out very well during your presentation. And the way, and you brought about what are the lessons and like that what I shared recently, some time back. These are the things you said, called yourself, these are the lessons, what you learned. Now what you could have done differently in my opinion is, this project also calls for some 360-degree evaluation by your team members. That exercise probably have been done by you, but I would have appreciated if you had shared those things, telling something about your leadership. What was the reaction of your people team with regard to your leadership style? And that's the thing. And any corrective measures you incorporate along the way, either way by your strategy or by whatever way you want to set up your business. Whether you have done any changes based on that. That could have given more insight into what you would have, how your project developed. That we were really ignorant of that. So that is one thing which I would, because that is not only give this, it will give the validation to your own ideas also. So these are the things which could have probably built in my opinion. And what you could have challenged yourself is, this is your vision is a lofty vision to develop become a market leader in some strategic solutions for this, depending on AI and other tools. That is something really amazing. But because it's one of the steps of that what you've been, your journey is continuing, and your 360-degree evaluation with your team should continue in that, and you should continue to have the dialogue with your employees. That is or your team members. There is one challenge you will have to face so that your continuous development is achieved. Finally, not connected with your project, but we are not connected with your vision and your enterprise. But you have completed your this 2 parts. You are becoming a distinguished Toastmaster. This again is not an end of the journey. It's only a major milestone in your Toastmasters career. I would suggest that you continue this, because you will have the advantage of listening to your wonderful speeches in future also. That's one suggestion I have got. But otherwise, congratulations. I thoroughly enjoyed the way you did the presentation today. I'm eager to listen to your future speeches in course of time. Congratulations and back to you.
Thank you, U Bhat, for the great evaluation. You followed the classic sandwich method, opening with genuine commendations, giving constructive suggestions, and where the speaker can challenge. Your evaluation was clear, balanced, and insightful, a great learning model for all of us. Coming to the speaker, DTM Shriram, HR. I had many takeaways from your speech today, but the last one was my favorite, be happy. So thank you DTM Shriram for the wonderful speech. Let's have a big round of applause for the speaker and the evaluator. Next we had an education session by Toastmaster Balaji titled Communication to Elevate, and Elevate he did. I have always admired Toastmaster Balaji for his humorous and seamless transitions, and Balaji had us enjoying and learning at the same time, and today was no difference in that. His ability to grab attention land powerful points, and still keep things light is a rare skill. This session was enriching and entertaining. Thank you, Toastmaster Balaji. Just one request, if you are viewing this video again, please come often to our club so that we get to learn a lot from you. Let's have 3 + 3 claps for Toastmaster Balaji. Now I would like to call 4 warriors whose contribution was vital in shaping the expectations and success of our meeting. I invite first guardian of our meeting, guardian of our meeting's rhythm, DTM Udanka, to present the timer's report.
Thank you. Good evening once again. The meeting started at 6:21 p.m. The business session, which was allocated 3 minutes, we overshot by 10 seconds, taking 3 minutes 10 seconds. Welcome by Sergeant at Arms, which was allocated 2 minutes, we overshot by 54 seconds, taking it 2 minutes 54 seconds. Presidential address, which was allocated 5 minutes, was well within the time, 4 minutes 43 seconds. Introduction for the Master of Ceremonies and the MOM of previous meeting was allocated 3 minutes. We overshot by 1 minute 25 seconds, giving it 4 minutes 24 seconds. Our speaker one, Shriram HR, was allocated 5 to 7 minutes. With a buffer of 30 seconds, we overshot by 43 seconds, making it 8 minutes 13 seconds. The next we had the educational session by Toastmaster Balaji is allocated time 15 + 5, but we overshot it by 10 minutes 13 seconds, making it 30 minutes 13 seconds. Our evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat, was allocated 3 minutes, but we overshot with an extra of 30 seconds. We overshot by 1 minute, making it 4 minutes 34 seconds. The table topic master in total has taken about 4 minutes 58 seconds. The individual report for each table topic speaker is on the whiteboard, you can have a look. Everyone was above 1 minute. The GE so far has taken about 7 minutes, 8 minutes now. And the Master of Ceremonies so far has taken 12 minutes 58 seconds, already overshooting by 2 minutes 58 seconds. With that, handing over the charge back to the manager.
Thank you, DTM Udanka, for your timer's report in seconds. It was clear and precise. Now, let's welcome the guardian of our speech, Toastmaster Sachin, to present our counter report.
So good evening everyone. So here's the report as the R counter. So certain names will be repeated twice as they were the role takers as well as they did the table topic. So I've evaluated that separately. So now coming to the role takers, Toastmaster Chetan 1 hour, Toastmaster Sindhushree 2 hours, Toastmaster Saketh 1 repeated word and 1 pause, Toastmaster Udanka 1 hour, Toastmaster Latha flawless, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa 2 hours. Now coming to the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Shriram flawless, and the evaluator Toastmaster U Bhat 3 hours. Now coming to the education session, Toastmaster Balaji 6 hours and 2 repeated words always and if. Now coming to the table topic, Master Madhusudan flawless, Toastmaster Apoorva 9 hours, Toastmaster Rachana 2 hours 3 ums, Toastmaster DTM K Prabhakara 1 hour, Toastmaster Udanka 1 hour, Toastmaster Sai Snehal flawless, Toastmaster Latha 1 hour and 1 repeated word and, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa 2 hours, Toastmaster Jyothi 1 repeated word and, Toastmaster Chetan 1 hour, Toastmaster Sakshi flawless, Toastmaster Sindhushree also flawless. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sachin, for your observations and your insightful report. Now, let's turn our attention to the guardian of words and style, Toastmaster Latha for the Grammarian.
Good evening once again. Now what is grammar? Grammar is nothing but a set of rules that govern how words are used and combined together to make meaningful sentences. And that is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to help you to understand what are the good usages and not so good usages today what we had for the session. Just a second. Yes. Now it's going to be a little pretty long because we had an excellent session today wherein we could find a lot of good usages what we can use it in our daily lives. Now starting with the good usages. Crux of the matter, create your own reality, wish and wills, unique value preposition, cut the deal, pitch your idea, experience brings in value, bread and butter, drive this one hat, longest of all time, walking with defenses high, lead to results, keep watch on weighing scale, waiting to judge me, gift of communication, throw dirt at someone, yelling is for losers, anger is weak emotion, anxious thought process, sticks like a hook, stomach is losing on a funny note, but it's a classic negator, calculated anger, the ball is in my court, hook is appreciation, rip you apart, fail miserably, expectation versus reality, similar to his journey, simple living, high thinking, fairly doing alright, taking things forward, ability to listen, build bond over time, grabbed the opportunity, art of listening, transformed my life, stay away from it, don't be attached, passion and commitment for vision. Last but not the least, 360 degrees evaluation. Now, the word of day was used by only two people in the room. The first was by Toastmaster Sakshi and the second was by me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latha, for highlighting the creative usage of the language and, of course, the word of the day, equanimity.
Yes, equanimity.
Now, next, I call upon the Master of Order and Flow, the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, DTM Veerabhadrappa.
Magadomme Namaskara. The meeting went on with equanimity. It was flawless and steadily it went on. Standard operating procedures were in place. No exit and entry when the speech was going on. Their speech never included any of the prohibited item or any of the prohibited things here like politics, sex and religion. Everything was 100% all right. Nobody disturbed when the speech was going on, and no mobile ringing was there. It was fantastic. I think this is how the Mekon Communication Club works because of the two delightful people who are here. With their support, it is running very efficiently and effectively. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Veerabhadrappa, for ensuring the discipline and smooth conduct during the meeting. So let's give a big round of applause for all the 4 champions. Now I request all the members to cast your vote through the WhatsApp ballot. I'll give 30 seconds to do so. Alright. So now coming to the table topic session, exceptional session which was delivered by Toastmaster Madhusudan. You are known for introducing creative things without referring a single note. So today you did a tremendous job in your table topic session, introducing the theme and comparing it with Pokemon. Then your drop topics were fresh, engaging and aligning with the theme. Everyone could speak on the topic for at least a minute, which makes sure that you did a great job as a table topic master. Your creativity and spontaneity are inspiring, and to challenge yourself, you can speak a one-liner between the topics, which could make the transitions better, because you are known, you are already fluent in your communication, in your speeches. So this one thing which can make your sessions more interesting. Overall, a great summary also which you provided after the session, which was relating with everyone. So let's give Toastmaster Madhusudan a big round of applause for this. Now, coming to the star of the meeting, our MC and team mod, Toastmaster Saketh. You introduced the theme and told and related with Google Maps with wrong turns. You compared the theme psychology of expectations with Google Maps with wrong turns. You even had voice modulation in few speakers' introduction, which brought the energy into the room. Your audience engagement was there, and it was nice balance between wit and warmth. One thing which you can work on is speaker's introduction. Okay, you can make the introductions more personalized and better. Overall, you had a great pacing, pauses in your team mod. Great job in anchoring with style. Let's give Toastmaster Saketh a big round of applause. Now coming to the final observations to help the overall meeting, overall club to grow. Let's try to assemble at 6:10 so we can begin the meeting at 6:15 sharp. The gavel handovers from Sergeant at Arms to President and from President to team mod and back can be done more ceremoniously. Let's try to use the word of the day, equanimity, not just in our speeches but in our mindsets as well. So today's meeting wasn't just well run, we had a great learning and meaningful session today. It reminded us that expectations, when managed with reflection and equanimity, can lead to better experiences, better communication and better leadership. With that, I conclude my general evaluation session and thank you for the attention, your presence and your purpose. With that, I return the stage back to the MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshi, for this wonderful general evaluation. And as we come close to today's meeting, today we learned the lessons learned from Toastmaster Shriram, the ABD techniques that we can use in our life by Toastmaster Balaji, the unique topics, table topics that were given by Toastmaster Madhusudan, and the energetic general evaluation by Toastmaster Sakshi. So let's give them a huge round of applause. Now, let me leave with a final thought that happiness is reality minus expectations. Happiness is reality minus expectations. And if your expectations were met today, fantastic. If they weren't, then every unmet opportunity is a learning growth. Just like Dr. Ralphie Smedley once said, don't look at me like that. Okay, just like Dr. Ralph C. Smetli once said, "We learn best in the moments of enjoyment," and I hope today's meeting was one enjoyable moment. With that, I hand the stage back to the acting president, Toastmaster Sindhushree.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saketh. I'll give another 30 seconds. If everybody is not voted in the ballot, please take out your phones and please cast your votes. Until then, let's ask our guests about the feedback of this session and how did they enjoy it, or if they have anything for us. So let's start with Vivek here. Please, Vivek, stand for very
Can we close it? It's already 20 minutes.
Definitely, sir. Please.
So, hello everyone. So, this session was it was more than what I expected. So, it's very organized and it was in a very formal way. So, I'm looking forward to come to more and join maybe this club also. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really
Please close it. 20 minutes. It's enough. Already 20 minutes. I take, with your permission, objection to this. No feedback. Please close it. Because way beyond, where is the limit for this? You can take, for politely take it, no issues. But think of it that we are way beyond this.
Definitely, sir. Thank you for your.
Please, ask, take a feedback. No.
Definitely, sir. Please, sir. Please share your
I
feedback.
can say it was very good. It's like home always. I feel like that.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. I will not take much time. It was a wonderful session. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
With that, let's come to the last part of the session where we announce the winners of today's meeting. To start off with the first part of the session, first role taker, to be honest, since we do not have any other competition for the day, I think it's kind of given who is the best speaker and the best evaluator. So let's start off with the best evaluator for today's session. With a huge round of applause, please welcome DTM U Bhat. Thank you so much. And the next best role taker, that's the best speaker for today, goes to Toastmaster Shriram. Please welcome him. And the next best table topic speaker for the day goes to, we actually have a tie today, and it goes between, the very first is DTM Udanka and myself, Madhusudan. I'll also Thank you so much. And the next we have the best warriors, that is the best TAPG role takers. And this particular award goes again to our timer for the day, DTM Udanka. Thank you so much. And the best male role taker, that is the MTG role taker, and this particular award goes to our gender evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Sakshi. Thank you, Toastmaster Madhu. So a little highlight I have to say, the role taker for the GE was changed at least 4 times. And when I asked Sakshi, I asked her today morning, Sakshi, can you please take it up, because our third person who took up the role also backed out. And without any hesitations, without any asking me any questions. Sakshi said yes, Sindhu, and she came with a really prepared sheet for us. So please give her a huge round of applause. I'm sure you all expected the meeting to last by 8:30. We are extended by 10 minutes. But I hope you had a really good time and good learnings from today, because I'm pretty sure it was very enthusiastic. And with that, I close the meeting number 1321, and thank you. Let's
Our
start from
closure is 8:50.
Okay, sir.
8:30 you said. That is where maybe there was a communication gap.